Hello and welcome to my community on Afrocentric TV, channel 15.8. My name is Kola Wale, and you know this is that station that revolves around the Africans in diaspora, especially for those of us in Houston. I welcome you to the show. This is a special. It is going to be one show that encompasses everything you need to know about the program on how to become a citizen in Grenada. To talk about that is my friend. Should I call it childhood friend or college? No, we've been way too long, y'all. I don't want to tell y'all because it's going to be like, oh, so you've graduated college since like over 20 years? Yes, people, yes. I'm an old boy, but in a young body, and I still look good. But you can tell now, you think I look good? Look at this man here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Kola.
Man, it's really good to see you again.
Yeah,
man.
It's good to be here again.
Wow.
I was there 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, thereabouts.
2018.
Yeah, and I'm still rocking that jacket you gave to me as a gift. The one I was, like the one you wore that I can still remember.
The
it was
African jacket.
The African jacket.
Thank
Everybody
you.
wants a bit of it.
Yeah.
And I referred them to, you know where. And
Exactly.
Another thing here. So,
It's nice to meet you again.
likewise, sir. So today we want to talk about Grenada.
Yeah.
Right? That's Grenada passport.
Yeah.
That's investment in Grenada and becoming a citizen of the country by investment.
Or a passport holder. Okay. Like you said, my name is Idowu Olumide. I'm the regional director for Africa on Ancient Group of Company. We are the developers of the Grenada National Resort as we speak. Grenada is a country in the Caribbean. It's a country, one of the Caribbean countries, and the population is quite interesting. And they have a program they call Grenada Passport under CBI, Citizenship by Investment.
By investments.
Normally, you don't have. It's not that when you have the passport, it's not that you're moving in to Grenada. Some people just need the passport for free access into other countries. There are 149 countries you can use that passport.
I actually thought 150 because the last time I Googled it for a particular friend of mine, it was 150. I think 149, 150 made up.
Yeah, and yes, if you say 150, I will agree with you because just recently we're going to have Canada joining the free countries.
Oh wow!
Yes. It's in the process, but at least if you say 150, I will agree with you.
Wow, that's awesome. So one passport will give you the eligibility to
travel to into 150 countries, UK, EU countries, Asian countries, China.
So when
Hong
you
Kong.
say EU countries, because I like to. Because what is happening right now in Africa is like a migration kind of thing. People are just living in the country because of a whole lot of things, security, and a host of other things. I don't want to mention other things. Infrastructure, health, and whatnot. Education, is deteriorated too. I mean, compared to when we're in school, you can still finish school before we even finish. If you are in that. Upper level or first class or whatever, you see people are already approaching you, getting employment or whatever.
Job employment.
But now, even if you whatever it is your score is, you still have to struggle in the outside market. And people that doesn't even have a degree are doing greater than you. Are people that can sing, don't let me sing songs here. And they're making millions, but then you spend years in school without doing anything. So it's crazy. So it's I won't say it's encouraging, while it is very disappointing. For the government in Africa, I think it's something to look into if people really do need a better life for themselves.
Exactly. It's an option. It's an option for everybody because I will not lie to you. Everybody deserves a second passport. Right now as we speak, even Americans and UK citizens are getting second passports. Everybody deserves a second passport. Your country, with Africa most especially, with the limitation of traveling, most of the high net worth individual, they depend on this second passport, whether it's Portuguese, whether it's Malta, whether it's
as
Greece.
Long as it's somewhere outside of Africa.
So far that passport gives you access to other countries without delay of visa.
Talk about delay of visa.
Delay of visa, and that visa getting visas to go to China because of business. So people that really know what they are doing, they get second passport. And right now, the most valuable second passport you can have is the Grenada passport.
I quite agree with you on that, because if you look at the UK now is saying there are wait time just to get your visa. The United States is not just a wait time, it's year time. to get an appointment, not even get a visa. You know, it's so crazy that if you are a business owner and you need a visa to get out to go do your business, or even go see families, or even go on vacation or whatnot, you're stranded. You're like handicapped. You know, and then you feel like the country is not safe enough for you and your family. But you're working so hard to provide for your family, so you want a better life, a good life. So I'm not. Like I said, while it's very, very disappointing, I can't discourage anyone from getting what they need to get. I'm doing what they need to do to to provide for themselves a better life.
Yeah.
You know. So outside of that now, what is the process time for this program?
Grenada.
Tell me about this program. I really want you to dig into
our
the
company,
program.
Ensign Group of Company, Singapore. We are the government-approved developer for the Grenada National Resort. Yes.
Oh,
it's a long-term project.
I see. Okay.
It's a long-term project, and we've started already. The Ensign Group of Company. That's why we are the developer. That's why we are calling on investors to come on board, be part of it. Once you're part of it, there is a fee for being part of it, $220,000.
Oh, that's
for
cheap
the investment
compared to the United States.
EB5.
Did you remember the EB5? The last time you were here, we talked about the EB5. EB5 at the time was $500,000. Then now it's like 900 and something.
Plus all the
it's about 900
administrative fees going to be 900. And the one of the 1 million is going to go up to 1.something million.
Right.
If you put the administrative fee. So we'll talk about the differences of Grenada and the EB5
program. Okay.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
So right now, having an investment of 220,000, of which is refundable after 5 years, which is very, very good for the investor. And
does that mean they will revoke your passport?
No. In fact, the passport, it depends on how many of you are, whether you're an individual or you're doing for your family, inclusive of your siblings, inclusive of your your parents.
How many can be on a particular application?
Well,
how many people does it to? Because with the EB5, I know we don't want to compare it just now. We'll come back to it. It's required for me to talk about this, right? Because with that one, you can take up to like 10 people.
With EB5?
With EB5.
Yes, you can take up to 10 people if they're actually, let's say you adopted
them and your family, your immediate, whatever.
And all that.
Right. So compared to that, what does the Grenada?
So the Grenada allows a particular applicant, his spouse, children, siblings, and parents.
How many in total?
You have 2 parents. You have some people do have 2 wives, 2 spouses, right? But you are allowed to
claim one as a
spouse. And
the other is probably a dependent.
Yes, and the children. So you can see, even if you have 4 kids or 7 kids, your parents and your spouse come under everything 10. If you can't have more than 10 kids unless you adopt. Right.
Hey, this is Africa, man. You know, we get busy.
Yeah. This is Africa. We can have a lot of kids, but
talk about this is Africa. I'm sorry I will keep interjecting if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
Because I don't want to forget anything. Is it limited to Africans?
Oh no. In fact, the Chinese people and the Asians are some of the most beneficiary of this.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not.
But we are concerned about Africa. I just wanted to know
exactly.
if it is limited
in
to
fact,
Africans.
There's an encouragement for Africans to come more, to get more of these passports. Yes, I am aware of them encouraging Africans to come and get more of these passports so that they will be more Africans in that Caribbean. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the investment aspect of it. It's good for a family to have this kind of passport. It eases your movement, and it gives you access to United States of America through the E2 treaty. With the E2 treaty, a Grenada passport holder can easily set up a company in the US. We have a program for that too. Then move to the US to oversee. They are not coming to oversee the business. They will just come under our program, the trucking business that we are doing right now. So they move in, and they go do whatever they want to do on their own while we take care of the business of the trucking for them. So there are advantages of this Grenada.
Ensign Group take care of all of this for their clients?
Yes, it's a total package. It's either you want the passport, because there are different people for different needs.
Reasons, right.
Some people need the passport for traveling, to go to Asia, go to Europe. Some people need the passport to eventually get to the US through the E2.
Right.
There are other procedures. getting the passport is the first part. And
that makes you a citizen of that country.
Yeah, as a passport
Grenada.
holder, yes.
Being a citizen, I asked the question, if after, because you said something about refundable.
So that's the investment. That's the capital.
Yeah, the capital investment. If it's refunded, does that mean my passport?
So now it's mutually exclusive. The passport is being given to you by the government. The developer cannot revoke your passport.
So no revocation. Automatically, I become a citizen of that country?
Your passport takes you to fifth generation. So it's not that you have passport and it's 5 years renewal. Every 5 years you renew it, and it's for 5 generations, which makes it very good.
Wow. Okay, so the duration. How long does it take?
Normally, one of the most lengthy part of the passport is the due diligence. The due diligence it takes time. The government really wants to know who is coming in. They want to know the source of funds. They don't want criminal records of any clientele. On our own, we do due diligence, and because we have an idea that we don't want to submit and be rejected. It's bad for our profile. So we do on our own local due diligence. We encourage all our regional channel managers to do their own local due diligence before we submit application of any client. So after submitting, the due diligence takes like 2-3 months. Normally,
that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
So immediately after the due diligence, I get the
checks,
approval,
police,
records,
record and
all that,
just to make sure fraudulent or anything like that. Okay.
Exactly. So thereafter, once you've been given approval, under 2 months or 3 again, your passport will come out.
That was what my friend told me. It was under 3 months, and he was able to get his passport approval. But I think he got his done in Dubai or something. So,
okay, not that he got it done in Dubai. Everything is being done in Grenada. But you have some developers, like I told you.
Different agents, right?
Different developers, and different developers have different agents. Right now, we are the current developer, government approved. We paid for our land, $35 million.
I was going to ask you that. So what assets do you have there in that country that gives you, or the government give you that right to bring people into their country by investment or through investment, and then, develop their country? So do you have assets over there? How much have you, as the company, Henson Group, invested in the company for them to have that right? Fantastic.
Right now, like I said, we are government-approved developer for the Grenada National Resort. Henson Group of Company bought the land, $35 million.
Wow.
Yes. And we paid a bond of $10 million. So that makes us the property
owners, yeah.
Exactly. So which makes our offer to the public one of the cheapest. We have $220 for the investment fee and $50,000 for the government fee, which makes the product $270.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
The remaining fee are the processing fee, lawyer's fee, due diligence fee. Those ones,
and those are going to be defined.
They are defined.
Okay.
But they are only multiplied by the number of applicants and dependents.
Okay, I see. But up to 10, depending on one family. And I guess once they apply, there was going to be a contract between you and the applicants.
Of course.
Where everything is going to be spelled out. Of
course. You don't go into things you don't know.
Bro, coming up with $220,000 or $270,000 this day and age, that's a whole lot of money.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of money.
But then for the comfort, for what they are getting for it,
yes,
I think it's just a token, really.
Yes, and our targets are high net worth individuals that actually need this, and we want to bring them on board of our own side. That, see, you can depend on us. We own this property. We assure you of return on investment after 5 years. Blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about the differences between the Grenada passport and the EB5.
Wow. EB5, I will not lie, remains one of the best way to nationalize as an American citizen. But it's expensive.
It is. It became expensive.
It became expensive. In fact, the regional centers just won their case 2 weeks ago against the USCIS. I'm aware of this. So the regional centers are back on the block, and I'm sure they will be doing fantastic work. Even though the fees have gone up, 800,000 to non-targeted area, 1 million to targeted areas. So it has kind of reduced, from Africa, it has kind of reduced the clientele that were interested before the increment and before the pandemic. So now, the difference between the EB5 gives you the green card and the passport, American passport.
Yeah, but that comes eventually after you have stayed in the country for 5 years,
6
and
years,
then
exactly.
and all that.
And some of the interesting thing about the EB5 too is that if you get a good regional center, you can be paid your capital back. Yes, it's not everybody that pays back, but I've worked with regional centers.
But for that 5 years that you've been in the country, I think there's a return on that investment.
ROI.
Yeah, that they give them, maybe I think it's about
normally the ROI
is really low. It's really
negligible.
Low. Yeah, it's really low.
But some regional centers give 6%.
Oh wow!
Some give 7%.
Annually or
annually.
Okay.
But
okay, so imagine 6% of $1 million. You know, and then
I wouldn't even put my money there. If I need EB5, I will look for a regional center that is offering 0.5, because I'm not really interested in I have money already. I'm not really interested in the ROI. I'm interested in the passport. And if I'm lucky enough to get a regional center that will give me my capital back after 5 years, it's cool by me. It's cool by me. So they don't really look at, if you look at the ROI, well, if you lose your money, it's part of the game, because your fund is supposed to be at risk. That's the essence of EB5. So now, talking about Grenada passport, it's kind of cheaper. First, you have to obtain the Grenada passport. Thereafter, you have to now invest in a company that will give you the status of an E2 citizen of a country, E2. Yes. So if you now have, like, now we, on our own part, we have partnered a trucking business that if you now want to be eligible for E2, there are fees to pay for that qualifies you and your household to move to the US and enjoy the intuition fee like every other American citizen. But that does not make you a citizen or make you to have a green card. But it gives you residency permit.
Interesting. So if I were to be interested in this program, how do I reach you? Or, you know, given that you are
well, you could reach us, my company, HS ensengcbi.com. Ensengcbi, you can just hscbi.com. My name is Idowu Olumide. My email is iolumide@hscbi.com.
So that's ensengcbi.com.
Yeah, it will be shown on the screen as
yeah, of course, cbi.com.
Yeah.
And you know, once we do that, we fill out the contact us form, and you'll be able to reach us. And you are the regional director for Africa.
Exactly.
So it does not matter where I'm from in Africa.
It doesn't matter. We can take care of you remotely, or we can pass you over to our regional centers from any continent that you are in.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for always bringing this kind of opportunities to.
Thank you very much for always having me here.
I mean, it's you know, it's, to me, the way I just see this whole thing is, when the opportunity presents itself, grab it if you can.
Yeah.
I've had friends that had the money for the EB5 at the time, but unfortunately they were thinking, oh, it's too expensive. But when they became ready to say, you know what, let me move forward with it, it became expensive.
Yeah, really expensive.
Really, almost double. So now at 220 plus 50, I don't see anyone going wrong on this one. Plus, going through your company, they can get their money back, and they know where their money is going to anyway.
Exactly.
So it's going to the resort.
The good thing is that we are not even depending on anybody's money to build the resort.
To build, right? Because you already have the.
We're just trying to bring you on board to be part of it.
Right. So that's a beautiful innovation right there. For you guys to be able to do this for people, especially with the things going on in Africa, man.
Exactly.
I feel sorry sometimes, but I'm glad I'm a dual citizen. I'm not saying that because I'm proud, but I'm saying that just
because
so we have a sense of security somehow, some way. I know the world, I don't know where it's going to, but anywhere you feel like you're going to be safer, you have a better life, I think you can just give it a shot.
Yeah, become a global citizen. There's nothing wrong in being a global citizen.
Correct. I need to be that.
Yeah. Everybody needs a second passport.
So, yeah.
And Grenada is one of the second passports that you have. And
thank you so much, Mr. Ido.
Thank you very much for having me here.
You. So, guys, need I say more? I've always told you, this is that station that brings you to where you need to be and what you need to know about Africa and the opportunities that lies therein, especially for those of us here in the Houston area and those of us that will be seeing us online in Africa and all over the world. If you can, and your hands are clean, no, because they will do their vetting, take advantage of it. And I was going to sign up, but something came to mind. Let's say for instance, and I know we talked about this during the EB5 stuff, can I, if I don't have that capital, that 220,000 or 50,000, whatever, can I have someone sponsor me?
Fantastic, yes, you can. Anybody can sponsor you. Yeah.
Okay. So I just had to throw that in because it came to
anybody
my mind
can sponsor you. So the due diligence will be done on the person sponsoring you.
Because they want to know the source of that revenue, funds, right? Then they vet everybody else that's going to be under that application.
Yes, and SENG is very, very particular about source of funds. We don't want to.
It's necessary.
We don't want to
submit
your documents and you get rejected.
Because it's going to be a stain on their integrity.
Yes. So we do our own due diligence. We beg our local, regional directors to do due diligence before we submit.
Fantastic. So like I said, make sure your hands are clean. But it's an opportunity to take advantage of this offer right here. Thank you for staying with us. Do not touch the dial. Hello and welcome back to my community on Afrocentric Television Channel 15.8. Again, this is your host, Kola, your favorite guy on TV as of today. Anyway, I'm super excited. As you all know, I get excited when it comes to anything and everything in Africa. Today, we will be talking to one of the VPs of NAMC, and she's going to be talking to us about Afrifest, their annual event. This has been going on for 9 years now, so we've had them, on this channel just to talk about what to expect and things like that. So don't let me give it all away. I'll allow her to talk about Afrifest. Welcome, Omanefe.
Hi, thank you for having me today. So yes, I'm the Vice President of Fundraising for NAMC. NAMC stands for the Nigerian American Multicultural Council. So if you've seen us, great. If you have not, welcome. I'm just here to talk a little bit about our annual family fun open air festival, which takes place annually in Houston, Texas, every single year. And so this has been running for about 9 years now. We didn't have it in 2020 due to the pandemic, but we are coming back with full force. So,
hey, yeah. I'm excited. So this is the Houston Afrifest.
It is.
Annually. And it's organized by NAMC.
Yes,
right? NAMC is the Nigerian American Multicultural Council. Okay, and I learned that this is a collaboration between several African heritage organizations in Houston.
Yes, you got that right, yeah.
So this means they come together to showcase their culture, tradition, fashion.
I like that. Okay. Let me
I'm excited. Anything Africa, I'm just super excited about. I don't know. I'm just, as you can see, I don't wear nothing else, but I do sometimes.
African garb.
It's African.
I like that. Okay, I see you're really invested, and I mean, it's inspiring to see that and to hear it. So yes, we will be working with our community partners this year, which consist of, but not limited to, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Rwanda, Gabon, Liberia, and I believe, Kenya as well. So, and let me not forget the Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, to be specific. So these are the, we have a plethora.
So do you guys know there's a Congo Conakry or something like that?
So these community partners are working with actually have their own communities, like similar to NAMC. So they represent their community at large.
Lovely. So, but you're bringing all of them together under one umbrella.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, this
We've
is
had
beautiful.
Great communications with them, and we're also excited to provide a space for each country to represent themselves well. You know, it's one thing to say that we love Africa, but it's another thing to actually provide a space for each country to showcase, you know, what God, I believe, has blessed each with. You know, you know, represent yourself. You know, you have your own voice. You know, we're a firm believer that even though, yes, we are the Nigerian American Multicultural Council, we're not here to take over other African countries' voices. We're just here to illuminate it, you know. So to be a fellow brother, a fellow neighbor.
So this is not the first that NAMC is doing regarding, you know, the unification of other African countries in diaspora. But you know, Houston consists of the largest community of Nigerians. Oh yeah, right. Sure. And there's something happened recently with the Afrocentric TV Awards, 2022. There was a lot of representation, and I loved it.
Oh, that's so good.
Yes, from different African countries. Some presented, some were just in the audience, some invited themselves, we invited all of them. So after that, I got to talking to them that, you know what, there's so much we need to do. And I think this is where Afrifest needs to play a major role too. And I love what you just said. You illuminate, you give them the chance to illuminate.
Right, themselves.
Talk about their culture, you know, what they imbibe, who they are. So, because it just feels as though Nigeria is taking over everything Africa. And, and it's not very, very encouraging for other African countries. And kudos to Afrifest, to NAMC for putting together Afrifest. But this is a way, again, to showcase your culture. You can't beat that. So what kind of guests are we anticipating, and how many people have bought into this event so far?
Yes, the good part. So
I like that smile.
All right, the good part. So we actually, on average, on a yearly basis, we typically sell tickets, or by the time the festival arrives, we receive over 3,000 attendees.
Wow.
So we are already like...
And it's too late to plug in now if I want to be a vendor?
It's not too late to be a vendor. If you're looking, or if you're interested in promoting your businesses, services, or goods, we not only have people selling African garb or African jewelry, you know, but we also have people who do insurance, you know, consulting groups, law firms.
So not just the fashion and beauty, but also African businesses can be showcased at this. And this is live with about approximately 3,000 live audience. Not even on TV or anything, but a live audience that they can touch and feel.
Yeah, people flying in from out of the state, even out of the country, because the performances and entertainers that we have
a festival.
Are groups that they tour the United States, they tour internationally. So
there's an opportunity for them to buy into it.
For sure. And we're more than just, you know, selling African clothes or jewelry. You know, Africans have businesses. We are graced for wealth. I believe that
I love that, graced for wealth.
We are, you know, I mean, look at the whole world is looking to Africa as a major global market. It's just us recognizing what we have to offer and standing by that. So Afrifest is somewhat of like an allegory for how much more Africa contributes to the world at large. And, you know, Afrifest is, like you said, it's a convergence. It's a meeting place where we get to promote, you know, our businesses, our law firms, our physician groups, you know. So I'm just excited to see that people are taking advantage of the marketing, of the opportunity to sell themselves, not themselves personally, but what they have to offer the Houston community and the Texas one at large. So, yeah.
So it does not matter what race, what ethnicity, where you're from, where you're not from, if you're fashion inclined or not.
Right.
It does not matter your sexual orientation. We have every and anything for everybody.
Right.
It's all inclusive.
All inclusive, right.
Love it.
Just like how Africa is to the rest of the world. We are literally
just like Africa. So Afrifest is a reflection of Africa, basically.
The heartbeat.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Pick it.
I thought it was these are two different heartbeats right here. Well, that's what makes up Africa anyway. People come from all walks, right, and they get to Africa. So when is this happening? And is this is going to be a Saturday in October.
Yes. So, so Afrifest is the Festival of African Arts, Entertainment, and Culture, and it takes place this Saturday, October 22nd. From 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. So every year, people are always asking us to
It
extend.
used to be 12 to 6.
Yes, I'm glad you.
Well, go. Once it gets to 6, you'll realize that people are just getting started.
You get it, yeah. The party has just started, African style.
So it's extended one more hour this year.
It is, yeah. So
awesome.
this is we aim to please. So people have been
I like
asking.
this, aim to please.
Right.
Okay, I'm learning.
Right, yeah,
Taking cues from everything you're saying. All right.
You like the wordplay, yeah. So we do aim to please. We look for any and all opportunities to serve our communities, right? To lead, you must serve, you know. So we've taken feedback from our attendees, from our vendors, our sponsors, and you know they've asked every year, can you please extend it one more hour? You know, by the time people come, they realize there's so much to Africa. How can you fit 54, I believe, countries in 7 hours?
Within 7 hours.
It's
in one
how?
day.
How? Right, with one day. So our end goal, hopefully one day, is to make it a weekend affair, almost like an Essence Festival.
Right,
you know, or
right.
Afropunk. So that's where we're headed towards, bringing Africa to the shores of America.
But you have the space. It's been the same space in the last few years anyway.
It has, yeah, very
Houston
large
Baptist
one.
University, right? HBU.
Yeah.
And that's 7502 Fondren Road. Houston, Texas 77074.
Yes.
I still remember. I tell you, I've been
you're a
working on
veteran.
Afrifest
I like that.
for a minute. So now, if people are trying to get tickets, and you need to explain this to us, if you know, because I still need to ask you, once they buy a ticket, what to expect, because one thing for sure that makes me come out there almost every year, because there was this year it never came, and there was this year it never happened because of the pandemic. I was in Nigeria. That was why I couldn't make it. I was somewhere in the world. But yeah, the food. Yeah, different food varieties from different countries. And you will talk about that, but tell us, how much is the ticket and who gets in for free? Okay,
that's an awesome question. So we have made sure that wherever we host our festival is accessible. That's one of the biggest, right? Because then how can we accommodate or seek to serve over 3,000 people if it's not central? So I'm glad you brought up the address. It is very central. It's on HBU's campus. They have been kind enough to host us and large enough to hold the capacity of attendees coming in. So that's first things first. As far as tickets, so between now up until the day of the festival, online only, our tickets are only $5 for students.
Yay!
Yep. So it's
that's
affordable.
as good as free.
Oh, basically, and you get to come and have 7 hours of fun. So even if you leave, you'll receive a wristband. You can come back in. You know, people do that. So as for the free tickets, we actually have made sure that this year our veterans, so thank you for those who serve and, you know, put their best foot forward to protect this country, our senior citizens, so those 65 years and older, as well as our students and children under the age of 12, they all come in for free. So for our senior citizens, our children, our students, as long as you bring your ID, you know, you can register online at... So
even if I'm a postgraduate student?
Yeah, you're a student. You're a student. So
I get it for free.
Yeah, as long as you have your student ID. So not your driver's license, not your Nigerian passport, okay? Your student ID. Okay, so as long as you do that, you can register online for free. It is there on Eventbrite. You can also find us on our website, nancyhouston.org/Afrifest. Afrifest is AFRIFEST. So that's where you can find us if you were looking to register for free or purchase your tickets.
So it's nancyhouston.org. So NAMCHOUSTON.org/ whatever she spelled earlier.
AFRIFEST.
Yeah, I just had to do that because I just thought, why would she be spelling as if I didn't go to school? Yeah. So
I'm done. Okay.
Let's talk about the countries. Then we'll come back to the activities for the day. The countries, you mentioned Congo, you mentioned Ghana, you mentioned Nigeria, Liberia, Rwanda, Uganda,
and Zimbabwe.
Oh man.
Yep.
And these are all represented here in Houston area?
They are. So those communities are alive and well in Houston.
So if you're hearing this and you're from any of these communities, you need to reach out to me. My Vineyard afrifesttv15.8@gmail.com. Send us an email. Let's do something together. Let's promote your culture. Just like she's talking about. Afrifest. You know, this is, I think we have the power in numbers, right? We need to take advantage of our human capital in this country, especially here in Houston metro area, where we are predominantly the largest African culture in the United States. So now, since we have all of these countries, we have food vendors from most of these countries coming through.
So we do.
Because I don't have to go to Ethiopia to taste their food here.
Right.
I don't have to be in Rwanda to. But I love food. I'm a foodie. As you can tell, I'm robust and everything. So that's all food. And it's the grace of God. Y'all know that, right? So yeah. Okay. Don't laugh at me.
Sorry, it's so funny. But you're right. And I love that you said that. We pride ourselves. I mean, that's a huge reason why we have Afrifest. For those that can't or have not been able to go to Africa, right? It's a lot of countries. Africa is not a country. It is a continent. Countries. Okay, it is a continent with 54 countries, right? And so what Afrifest does is we, as much as possible, try to garner attention from different communities that represent their country.
And if your country is not there this year, make sure you join next year.
Yes.
It's every year. It's an annual event. And before then, you can reach out to me. I'll give you my email. I'll give it again. Please.
Yeah. So we bring all these different communities who represent their countries very well. They're established in Houston and they come to represent their country. So when it comes to food, we actually have, of course, Nigeria. So our presenting sponsor for this year is Wazobia.
Yay! Shout out Wazobia. Doing excellent stuff.
Honestly, in the Houston community. So they will be our presenting sponsor for this year. So check them out. We also have Aso Rock Market, another sponsor.
Awesome.
So
I learned they moved into Houston and they're doing big things.
Yeah.
Awesome. So shout out to y'all.
They were in Dallas and now they've come and they're making headway in Houston. So
I love it. Whenever there's an African business and they support African movements, it blows my mind, man. It's just something I love. You know, so please bring your business. Let's promote one another. Thank you for the support so far, but I'm listening. I just get excited. I get emotional when
I love it. The energy is given.
Yeah, no, it's lovely, isn't it?
It really is. So we do have Aso Rock Market coming, and they are a sponsor as well as a vendor. Excuse me. And then as we move on to other African countries, we do have Delight's Delight Kitchen, which is a Ghanaian restaurant.
Yay!
That will be, by and large.
You say Delight?
Delights. Yeah, okay. Delight's Delight Kitchen. They're a delightful kitchen.
I'll be sure to check them out that day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna come out and eat some wanky. So just bring enough of your food because. Please, there's going to be a competition that day. I'll buy the Nigerian jollof and the Ghanaian jollof. We'll taste it, but I think I'll taste one first. I won't give that away. But yeah.
We're excited for you to try. Yeah, so if you're looking to see what this jollof food is all about, this is the place to be. There'll be Nigerian jollof as well as Ghanaian jollof.
Yes, and you as an American listening to this, that you love the African culture, it's a time to be the tiebreaker. Come along. Let's just separate. Let's settle this once and for all.
That's it.
All right.
So we do have them. We also have a Congolese restaurant.
Nice.
They are a vendor, so they'll be coming to sell food as well as an Angolan. So for those, we're looking. Yeah, South Africa is coming strong this year. I
love it.
So these are some countries that we maybe have heard of in passing, but have never really thought, wow, like. Could I see myself going there, or could I even see myself, Ghana is close.
Yeah, of course.
Nigeria is close. Yeah. Even Ethiopia is closer. But when we start talking about South Africa, Zimbabwe, Angola, so we're pleased
and we
to
can experience all of these
at Afrifest.
On Saturday, October 22nd, guys. It's nothing you want to miss. All right, so we're talking about the food. What other activities would there be that day?
Yeah, so we have a slew of entertainment. So 7 hours.
A slew of entertainment.
You like that, right? Sure, you
just displaying this word point on me. But, okay.
Too much English. But so actually from 12:30 down, entertainment starts so that we can kind of let people in, have people settled. We do have chairs, tables. So entertainment. We do have a huge stage where we will have Ugandan dancers and performers.
Love it.
Kenyan dancers. We have a It's a Rwandan cultural troupe that will also be present. So
awesome.
a lot of these companies, dance companies, cultural companies are troupes. So they tour around the U.S., around Houston.
Oh, so they'll be present.
They'll be present.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. We were able to secure them.
That's delightful.
Okay, now
Yeah.
I like to play on words. So yeah, they'll be present. We also have an entertainment number from Zimbabwe. So these cultural groups,
I'm loving it.
Right,
From different countries. This is beautiful.
Yeah, so we've made it a point because a part of us partnering with different African community partners to make Afrifest a success is, of course, giving ear to what their needs are. You know, like we were saying in the beginning, it's not just about what is best for Nigerians, right? Because whatever is good for Africa is ultimately good for us as individual countrymen, right? So, you know, we really wanted to tone it down on Nigeria. Nigeria is present. We are the largest population here, African population here in Houston. We've already made a splash, you know, so we wanted to make sure that there would be other African performers. And there's a lot of different African festivals and other, you know, events that happen in the month of October because our Independence Day is the 1st of October.
Right.
So what are ways that we can make Afrifest a little bit different from what those, you know, before us
in existence.
Right, and that have been having their festivals and their events showcase up until now. So yeah, I'm
seriously looking forward to this. So the activities for kids alike, right? Kids and adults, not just for adults
we
only.
have a whole segment. I believe it's between 30 minutes to an hour for kids. So the kids get to come up to the stage like it's almost like a concert. Where they have there's like a Elizabeth Kahari. She comes every year. She does like some type of safari like performance for the kids. The children are so excited. There's face painters for the children. There's soft play where there's like a whole
So it's like a family event.
It really
you can bring your entire family just to enjoy it.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you're from. Afrifest is where to be. See, I'm advocating for it because I've been there, I've experienced it. My children's been there too. Yes. So it's nothing new to me. But every year, just like she said, there's always something to look forward to.
Right.
So I'm encouraging you guys to come out and also give your support. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, go on to namcihouston.org/Afrifest and get your ticket. Anyway, moving forward, I want to understand, you've been with Afrifest, and I was going to say Afrocentric, because I'm used to being Afrocentric, though. Don't blame me, though. So, you've been with them. So, what's your fun activities or your favorite moments?
Wow.
Yeah, this is personalized.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good question. So, well, behind the scenes, right? Because I am on the Afrifest planning committee.
Okay.
Right?
So
my favorite part has been as the lead for both the vendors and the sponsors, as the VP of fundraising for NAMC, is just relating with different African businesses. There are businesses I didn't even know existed in Houston that, wow, like Africans, not just Nigerians, but Rwandans and Tanzanians, you know, people who are like there's a Tanzanian film director that's going to be promoting her film next month.
Oh, awesome.
And she connected with us to become a vendor, right? So just so many different spaces where Africans at large are occupying that, you know, because of our collective culture, you know, it's not just something that Nigerians or Ghanaians hold fast to, but we are so much more than just science and tech.
I just love
Those
this.
things are great. But look at how much traction, you know, these festivals and Africans in creative spaces have. You know, these people who use their voices to foster greater cultural unity, you know, and to present Africa at large to the United States. A lot of it is through creativity, whether it's the media, TV, Afrocentric TV, you know, shout out. So
we be there, you know. We've always been a huge supporter. And,
seriously,
and as from inception. Yeah.
You know, so I love working with the vendors and just talking to them, being on the phone, telling them about the vision of Afrifest and what we're looking to do in hopes of bolstering your business, giving businesses that may be smaller more visibility, right? Because the attendings that are coming are not just coming from the Nigerian community.
Right, it was from all over. We're talking about 3,000, girl.
Yeah, African Americans.
If you have not latched on to this opportunity, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. I mean, come on, live audiences. We're not talking about online audio. No, live, in person. So come out, support, showcase your business, of course, sponsor if there's still time for that. But then being a vendor, they said it's still open, as you can hear.
Yeah.
You know, so send your email to info@nancyhouston.org, or you can just make more inquiry from that email also, with that email. And also, if you want to buy your ticket, or, you know, find out more, it's nancyhouston.org/Afrifest. Correct?
Yes.
It's only $5. Adults, well, let's say older adults, 65 and above, get them for free. Students, get them for free. Kids up until 12 years old, get them for free. Address again is 7502 Fondren Road, Houston, Texas 77074. And that's Houston Baptist University, HBU. They played host to this event over the years. So shout out and thanks to you. Thanks to the sponsors. As we round up, we just want you to encourage people to come through and tell them, just, you know, just look at the camera and let them understand the reason why they need to be there that day.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for having me today. We're really excited to receive all of Houston, if not even those coming out from outside of Houston, to come and experience Africa. Afrifest is, again, a festival of African arts, entertainment, and culture. It is a place to establish your brand, present it to a new demographic of people, engage and network with other African business owners, as well as potential investors in your visions and your ultimate legacy. So we're excited to receive all people from different walks of life to indulge and be encouraged to see what Africa has. And we thank you again to all of our sponsors that will be present at Afrifest this year. We're so excited, and we thank you that your contribution is making Afrifest a reality for us again this year. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying with us. And please, don't touch the dial. We will be right back. Thank you, Money.
Thank you.
See? How come?